face me. He needs me in my fucking life if I'm just a program to use.
The National Film School, most of that education is based on like the practical sense, which I think is really important. The idea of here's a group of 18 people that you need to find and somehow work together and get them to kind of create this product that's in your head. And you may not always have access to an animator, but you have access to your body. How are we going to animate this scene? Well, let's put on a suit and try it out. So the film school has access to 4 Rokoko suits, and what we have been doing with it is to kind of like rapidly previs our ideas for films and short films or even gameplay mechanics. That process of being able to put on a suit and rapidly previs a scene just to get an idea of its pacing, its staging, kind of opens up the opportunity to like begin to feel the scene again and like if this is a good take or could we try something else? When you commit too early and you regret too late, it becomes a big cost. I call it the plan, commit, regret mentality when it comes to traditional animation. So one of the benefits why I chose Rokoko over an optical system was the fact that we didn't need a huge location or a huge studio to be able to do it. We could kind of fit it within a room that we could find at a film school. The suit was super easy to put on, and we didn't have to worry about all these little tiny beads that are everywhere. And it was just as simple as just using a laptop if you ever wanted to kind of rapidly prototype something. So it's highly portable, which meant that, like, for example, we actually had a scene where we needed to be off location for an hour, and to be able to kind of unpack a whole scene and bring it there, just let's go outside. Literally, that was the thing. Let's go outside and do a take and then come in and do the audio take as well. During a course where it was a mixture of artists and even tech and some programmers and all that kind of stuff, the artists were the ones that were having the most fun and kind of got in it as fast as they could. And the tech was just there and watching and also having fun, but it was kind of an interesting thought process. Here's a suit, plug it in, make sure your Wi-Fi is set, and then you're ready to go and play. I can't draw very well, so I developed this process using the suits to be able to express how I want to tell stories and how I can tell stories. Someone wanted to make a worm, so I said just use the arm and act the worm, and then just cut off the rig and you have a worm. The project that I used the suit most for was my graduation project, which was called Neon Nights Humanity Erased. The idea was to create this Nordic noir set in the sci-fi world. One of our main things was how are we going to create this believable performance, especially when we have such a known and skilled actor like Lars Mikkelsen. It would be a complete waste to not get any of that.
Hello, I'm Lars Mikkelsen, and here we are at the Danish Film School in Copenhagen, working on a very ambitious project on the last year in animation. So fun.
It was daunting. I'm not experienced with working with actors, especially to his caliber, but I also knew that like he knows what to do, and I also that's my kind of direction style. Is people bring their expertise with me. I'm not supposed to be an expert on what they do. So I did what I do best, which is just plan. I planned every shot. I made sure that I knew exactly what the intention of each scene was, and then I just worked with Lars with how can we get the most out of each scene. After half an hour in that suit, he just completely forgot about it and just did his thing.
Give me back my grip! Fuck!
Before I came into the film school, I had already a dream and an idea about how I could do all this kind of stuff. The main thing was the knowledge of how accessible things actually are nowadays. I mean, we use Unreal Engine, which is a great engine, completely free, and has all the tools there for you to start, developing games or prevising movies. You have Blender, free softwares like that, just to kind of get your hands in and get involved. But even something as accessible as like Rokoko suit, you can do it at home almost and practice. I mean, you look at Steven Spielberg and how he got his Super 8 camera and started filming. So now everyone can essentially do it. It's just a matter of who's doing it now. So despite all that technology and everything, it's also about just what kind of story do you want to tell. But the thing is, technology is an enabler for that. And I believe that like it drives how we tell stories, but our stories aren't driven by the technology in that sense.